There's another method to divide polynomials, and it's called synthetic division. Synthetic division is often considered easier by most students. However, there are some rules. You can only use synthetic division if you're dividing by a linear divisor. So it has to have a degree of 1, and its leading coefficient also has to be 1. If you can use synthetic division, you want to make sure that you turn the divisor into a 0. So we're going to change this or solve it for x and say x equals -4. That is what we are going to put on the outside of this kind of half box, the left and the bottom side of a box. We're going to put this -4 out here. Now, along this first line right here, we're going to put the coefficients of all of the terms in the dividend, or what we are dividing into. We need to make sure that we leave or put in zeros for placeholders for any missing terms. So we're going to start with the highest degree, and that is 3, and use its leading coefficient, so 1. And then we are going to descend down in order from 3, 2, 1, and then our constant. We do not have a squared term, so we are going to put a 0 in. Our x to the 1 power has a coefficient of -14, and our constant is 8. If you would like, just to make sure that you don't miss any terms, you could write your degrees up here so that you make sure that you get it correctly. So x cubed, x squared, x, and constant. Now, once you've done this, your setup is complete and we're ready to do some synthetic division. We want to bring down this first term, 1. And now we are going to do a process of repeated multiplication and addition until we're finished. We're going to take this, whatever's on the bottom, and multiply it by this -4. So 1 times -4 is -4, and we're going to add down. So -4 comes down. And then -4 times -4 is +16, and we're going to add down. So we get 2. And 2 times -4 is -8, and we're going to add down and get 0. This last term that you get right here is always your remainder. Now, when you get a remainder of 0, that means that your divisor, or x plus 4, divided evenly into this polynomial. So it can be considered a factor. We'll talk about that more in another lesson. Under here, we have created the coefficients of a new polynomial, or the quotient to this division problem. We want to go put our x's back in. If we started with x cubed, we should end up with 1 degree less. So this should be x squared minus 4x plus 2. And this is the quotient, or the answer to this dividend problem, Q. That is synthetic division.